Welcome back, everyone. Today is October 10th. It is day 370 of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, and unfortunately we have 100 hostages still in Gaza, and not 101 as I've been reporting till now. Idan Shtivi, who was taken from the Nova Festival and was thought to be in Gaza for a year, it's been discovered that he was murdered on that same day. His body is kept in Gaza, so you guys can imagine the fact that his family has been thinking this whole time that he might be alive in Gaza. So they could have been mourning this whole year, but didn't have the opportunity to. So may his memory be a blessing. Let's look at the articles for today from Yediot Achronot. Here we have Matach Katlani Latzafon, a deadly barrage to the north. And here we have Masat Terror Bechadera, a terror rampage in Hadera. So this is a terror attack, and this is the ongoing situation in the north with all the barrage of rockets. Let's get to it. Here it says, Revital v'Dvir, Teiluim HaKlavim. Revital and Dvir were walking their dogs, v'nehergu mipgiat raketa, and they were killed from a rocket that hit them in Kiryat Shmona. So you can see in this picture the scene with the firefighters, a direct hit towards them. A lot of people in Kiryat Shmona, they just have to continue to live their lives. You don't know when these rockets are going to, find you. You can be on a walk, you could be, sleeping, you could be anywhere, you could be in your car, and you don't always make it to a protective shelter. Here you can see Revital Yehud, that was 2 years after recovering from cancer. She had moved to Kiryat Shmona with her partner Dvir Sharvit, who was 43. She was 45, and it's so heartbreaking to know that, people are, in general, they're fighting for their lives, and, death finds them in another way when they're just out and walking their dogs. Here you can see another rocket that was launched in Tzfat in a children's room. If you are a parent, imagine, your safe place that you created for your child, to sleep, to take care of, to play in. That is their safe place. And literally in Israel, it feels like no place is safe. So imagine the thoughts of the parents that they go into this room and they see, their children's beds and everything just in complete disarray. And here, you think the living suffer, but also the dead suffer. Here's a direct hit in Kiryat Bialik, in a graveyard. You can see the immense amount of damage that's done here to these many graves, also desecrating the memory of the dead and not only the living. Just to give you guys the feel of how many rockets were just on this particular day, here you have Yoter mi 200 shigurim be'emama, more than 200 a day, and you can see here the different times in which it happened and the different places. So at 6:40 a.m. you would wake up from your alarm, not here in Shigurim to Shlomi, it's a different place in Israel in the north. One person was injured here at 8:30 a.m. when you were probably at your desk at work or on your way to work. You had to Caesarea, and it just goes on and on. 40 to Haifa, which is a very populated area, also a mixed area, Jews, Arabs, Russians. You have 20 to Kiryat Shmona, where 2 were killed, Revital and Dvir, and then you have over 100 rockets to Tzfat. And this is just from 6:40 a.m. to 4:40. So imagine wherever you're living in the world, imagine the amount of rockets, 200 rockets a day into your area. Would you be able to live your life normally? No one can live this way. And so the fact that we've been reporting the uproar that the people up north feel, it's a very, very, very real feeling. And I'll give you guys more figures here that they show basically what has been damaged over time. So I think this is since the 7th of October. They're showing here in percentages 1,645 cases. 54 of the percent of those places that have been hurt have been people's living places, just residential areas, so houses, apartments. You have 11 that are public places. You have chicken coops, and you have dairy farms. It's just, there's so much damage since the 7th of October. So if you go up north, so much of those places are a ghost town because people are evacuated. But also when you just walk in these different places, you have a house here that's been damaged. Like, this is 54% of all of those cases are residential. So imagine that that's your house. You have no house to come home to. It's very disturbing, but I know that Israel is doing absolutely everything that they can do to bring the people of North back to their houses safely. And the danger isn't coming only from up north, but of course inside of the West Bank. The incident that I'm going to report now, maybe some of you guys have seen it already. It literally looks like a scene out of Fauda. If any guys of you have seen Fauda, search this up because it's absolutely insane to see it happening in real life. So it says here, Belev Shechem, in the heart of Shechem, we say Shechem. In English, they call this place Nablus. Hamistarvim patchu be'esh, the undercover sort of cops or IDF opened fire, v'chislu chamisha mechablim, and they took out 5 terrorists. So here you can see one of the wanted terrorists that they've actually tried to take out 3 different times, and somehow he escaped. But actually this 3rd time they succeeded. And here you can see Issam El-Saj, who was the one that sort of kept escaping their reach. And if you look here in this picture, you can see the car in which they basically shot fire at. So these mistarvim, we call them in Hebrew, they're these secret agents. They come out in normal attire, just like any ordinary Arab that you would see on the street. So they blend in with everyone, and they just came out of their car after receiving intel of a terrorist attack that these terrorists wanted to conduct in Israel. And they basically shot at them and killed them. And here you can see in this picture, the aftermath of it, just the glasses riveted with bullet holes, and all the curious, bystanders coming by and seeing them. So I know it looks very, bad to see these images, because you think like, oh, these poor Arabs in their, refugee camps. And yeah, many of them are in a really difficult situation, but I think that they're more in a difficult situation because they've created terror hubs out of these places where, we could have lived in peace. And so when you see suddenly, these, very intense images, or you see them suddenly, bomb or go into a residential area, it's not for no reason. You literally have so many terrorist attacks that are thwarted that the public they'll never know about it. And so the IDF is trying to keep us safe, but I recommend you guys go on YouTube and search this to see it. It literally looks like a Hollywood movie, but it's our reality. Unfortunately, not all terror attacks are thwarted, and here's a really sad example, or actually 3 examples of what happens when they are not able to thwart these terrorist attacks on time. So this is about Hadera and a terrorist attack that happened, but I'll show you guys first the fact that there were 3 terror attacks that happened over the last 9 days. So it says here, Tish'a yamim, shlosha piguim, 9 days, 3 terrorist attacks. And on the 1st of October, you had the one in Tel Aviv Yafo, where 2 terrorists basically went on a killing rampage at a train station in Tel Aviv. This was actually happening while there was the rockets coming from Iran. So you had, terrorist attacks happening on different fronts. On the 6th of October, you had one in Beersheba that a Bedouin man from Pzura, he basically went to the McDonald's in the central bus station the central bus station in Beersheba, where 1 female soldier was killed and another 9 were injured. And then you have this one that happened on the 9th of October in Hadera. And I'll show you guys basically the route that this man took and how it happened that for a while they couldn't neutralize this man. So it says here, 45 דקות של אימה בלב חדרה, 45 minutes of terror in the heart of Hadera. So you can see here at 11:25, this is, it started at 11:25 to attack, and it stops at 12:10. So he literally went to different places on his bike, going around and stabbing people. So the first one, he stabbed 2 people and in the street of Gitit. And then he went from there to another street. He stabbed 2 more people. And he actually didn't just stab them, with a knife. He also had an axe. And here you can see the, bloodied weapon of his choice here, which is, it seems to be like a huge butcher's knife. It's absolutely horrendous. In the 3rd place, he did the same thing. He went and stabbed 2 more. And then finally at 12:10, he was neutralized by civilians that carried guns. And you can see this here in this picture. thank God. I know people don't understand this in different places in the world, like the right to carry arms, but in Israel it is absolutely necessary. And thank God that these people, civilians that have either military background, security background, they carry these guns because of these situations, because you just don't know when or where these terror attacks are going to happen. And without it, this person would literally just go to, more places and kill more than that. You can see them here with, their guns pointed at this man, and they're telling him, if you see the footage, they're telling him, get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. And he's still armed with these weapons. He was not willing. And so I think they shot him in his foot. But, you just can't control where this is going to happen. This is the person that neutralized this terrorist. It says here, Gibor Hayom, the hero of the day, Adi Nataf, that neutralized him. It's just insane, the fact that you can have so many different terrorist attacks. And the sad thing about it is that this is sort of yesterday's news. Today, another thing could happen. Actually, today, what happened is that they thwarted a terror attack that was going to happen in the Azrieli Mall in Tel Aviv. If you've ever been there, it's a huge mall, very populated with people. I don't have all the details yet, but they were going to do it with a car with a bomb inside, and it was neutralized. And so, as I said, some they're able to thwart, some they're not. But if you're a praying person, please pray, because these people, they're just innocent people going about with their day, and they didn't know that day they would, encounter terror. So keep us in your prayers. So in our last newspaper video, you guys saw Rotem, that it came back to show you guys all about the 7th of October a year later. And here is a really, I don't know if to say heartwarming story, but like an amazing story of two people that were at the Nova Festival, and they're looking for the person that warned them about, the coming danger. They're going back to the site of the Nova Festival to sort of come to a full circle and process what it is that they went through. It says here, Yachad belev hatofet, together in the inferno, mitachat lebamat hanova, underneath the stage of the Nova Festival. So these two guys, Shoham Gueta and Oren Zahavi, didn't know each other before they met at the Nova Festival. There's literally over 1,000 people there. And what they did the moment that they knew that they were terrorists is that they hid underneath the Nova Festival stage. And so everyone is there. Some of them are, bloodied. They're trying to, silently call their family and friends. They're telling them to be quiet. It says here that a man that was dressed in black, that was on the production, warned them that these terrorists were coming. And he literally says here, Tivrechu mipo irtzechu etchem, run away from here. They're going to kill you. So you can see him here, underneath the stage. And then 2 seconds after that, they're just running for their lives. And there's so many incredible stories like that, but also so many angels in disguise, anonymous angels that said something, did something, sacrificed their life. And a lot of these people are going back there a year later, trying to recall all the details that they can to find, these people. The unfortunate thing is also that this person, it doesn't say here that they found this person. This person could also be, not alive anymore. If you want to hear more stories like that, literally just go on YouTube, go on Instagram, because I think it really gives a different perspective. Because as much as there were extremely, extremely dark moments, there were also moments of light and of love and of kindness, of generosity, of people that literally, they even escaped the Nova Festival, but because they knew that more people were in distress, they went back in and ended up dying themselves. Even like a person that brought people to the Nova Festival in his car, just a hired man that brought them, he literally, he got a call from one person that said, please come back, please come get us. And this was just, an Arab, I think, Bedouin guy from Rahat. He came back and, saved 30 more people. And he didn't have to do that. So as much as there is darkness, there's also a really great light. And it's just really inspiring stories as well. And now to all of you food lovers that might find this next article encouraging. It says here, ze lo luf, it's not spam, ze antrikot mimashana. It's, prime steak from a smoker. So this article is about the soldiers that are up north that are being provided with actually good food. But they're not just up north, they're in over enemy grounds in Lebanon. So it says here, this commando brigade with a knife between their teeth and a full stomach. Here you can see this anonymous soldier preparing this meal for them, on the grounds with wherever they are in Lebanon, or just in a random house in the north. What you might find sort of strange is that because there's so many abandoned houses, or basically houses of evacuees, some of these soldiers, they go into those houses and they sleep there and they use their kitchen. And so, people will come back to their houses and find it, nice and clean with a nice note saying, thank you for allowing us to use your house. Or they got into their kitchen, using things in their fridge, and they will literally replace it later saying, thank you so much for allowing us to do this. But so some of these people, they're, in Lebanon or they're in the north, and they're just helping them in the way that, it really, army food is not nice food. It's not yummy food. So for them to be able to provide, good quality, steaks from these smokers, and also other things like for the holiday, because we're now in the holiday season, they literally went, all the way into a dangerous place just to give them this food alongside more ammunition. They gave them dates, they gave them pomegranates, they gave them olives. It's not for no reason that there's a phrase that says an army marches on their stomach, or at least that's what we say in Hebrew. And so we wanted to say thank you from All Israel News to all of the soldiers that risk their lives for us. We want to hear your guys' thoughts on this channel. Go to the footage of what happened in Nablus and tell us in the comments below what you think about that crazy incident. Thank you guys so much for watching and praying. If you want more Israel-related content, go to allisrael.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.